2 months ago, we picked up this 2022 Toyota Supra A91 CF edition for Jackie.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you guys. Thanks guys.
3 days later, we picked up this downpipe. Now the goal here was to get some extra sound out of the vehicle without having to change the exhaust system right away and to teach Jackie what it takes to work on her own car. This is what it sounds like with the stock exhaust and the downpipe installed. I then added some magnetic paddle shifters to the vehicle and I coded some things in and out through Beamer code. After 2 months, it's finally time to lower it. So Jackie was supposed to be here while I lower this car because of course we want to teach her since this is her car. But unfortunately, she's not here and it's raining for the next 4 days. I've had the springs for this car for like 2-3 weeks already and I'm kind of tired of putting it off. So we're going to go ahead and pull this BMW in and we're going to go ahead and lower it. I'll tell you what, after getting out of the Supra and hopping in a BMW X6, this is a big old mama Lona, I tell you. Pulling out one BMW, just pull in another one. That's crazy. Giving you guys a before and after. This is before we lower it. You can't really see on the side. Lighting's terrible. Let's go ahead and show you the other side. But it doesn't look that bad until you're driving it. Like you see somebody driving it and you're looking at it from like another car and you're just like, ew, like it's kind of it's kind of high. But I really can't wait till we get new wheels. Of course, lowering it is the first step because we're not putting wheels on a stock suspension car, right? Look how big that wheel gap is, dog. It's terrible. But I can't wait till we get new wheels because I'm not really a big fan of these wheels because I'm not the biggest fan of black wheels. One, it looks terrible when you take pictures of it in the daytime. It looks like the car's floating. Two, when you have terrible brake pads, you can see like all the brake dust on it, and I don't know. I'm not a huge fan, and it's because I have black wheels before, so I know exactly how it goes. But yeah, let's go ahead and pull this car in and let's lower it. Now, before we get started, let's go ahead and open it up. And let's see what we got. So we went with the H&R springs. The reason why we went with the H&R springs is because I personally didn't want to go coilovers because I want to keep the EDC working, which stands for electronic dampening control. You guys know when you put in sport mode or comfort, it changes the dampening and the struts. So I wanted to keep that feature going, so I personally didn't want to go coilovers. So we got H&Rs. The green chair actually adds a very nice touch to this, but let's go ahead and jack this car up and let's get this job done. So jacking this car up could be a little difficult. So if you're like me and you don't have the BMW adapter, you could just go right in the center right here and you could jack it up right there. If you guys can see where my jack is placed, go ahead and jack it up. It'll bring up the front, of course, not the rear. And then you just put your little handy dandy jack stand. Again, I don't have the adapter, but this should work. Wow. So there's a bunch of sensors that we have to disconnect. So there's one right there that goes on a strut. There's another one here that goes on a strut. And then we want to disconnect it right here. We're going to wiggle that out. Put that to the side over there. We might actually take this off too because I know this is going to be twisting. So we're going to take that off. And then let's see what else. What else? I know there's a brake line. I think it's this one right here that we're gonna remove. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing, but I'm taking this line off right here. I'm trying to take everything that's attached to the strut off because this is gonna drop down and come towards us over here. These are plastic fenders right here. So we can actually, once we loosen it from the top, it's gonna drop down and we can swing it this way. We don't have to worry about scratching anything or like, I don't know, bending it or whatever the case is because these are plastic. So drop it down, pull it this way, and then we're gonna put our spring compressors on here and we're just literally gonna do everything on the car. So I'm trying to take everything that's attached to the strut or potentially could get damaged during it like moving our way out of the way. So we're gonna take it off down there just to get that out the way. Put that to the side. Okay, I guess we could take this line off too. There we go. So everything is out of the way. So we're gonna take one 16mm bolt off right here. I'm gonna grab our handy dandy impact. So that was attached to the end link. We're gonna take that off from the top, which of course is attached to our sway bar. So this basically attaches each side to each other. Take that off. I imagine that being a little bit difficult to put back on once we go ahead and install the lowering springs, but we'll see. You're not working on your car if you haven't ripped a glove, I'll tell you that. Good enough. So this is the tool that I picked up for the coil spring compressor. At least that's what it's called. I have no idea how to use this. I haven't used this style before, so it's gonna be a little interesting how we put this on. So we gotta go back to the store and return the other one because that was the wrong one. Some of you was probably yelling at the screen. Boy, yeah, this is the one that I'm used to using. This is the one that clamps on each side of the spring, and then it compresses it like this. This is the one I'm used to using. The sun's going down, so we got to put a light on the chair in order to see. I know it's a little ghetto, but I'm trying to embrace it, and I'm trying to enjoy this because this is gonna be our last time installing a mod in this garage. But we gotta go ahead and compress this spring. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put this jack underneath the rotor right here. We're gonna jack it up, and then we're just gonna compress the spring so that we're able to install those guys. And then we're gonna compress it on this side. Hopefully it has enough room to compress. Maybe I should do this. Oh, I can't do this the other way because if I do it the other way, there won't be enough space. Okay, so I figured this out by watching a video that didn't explain it, but I figured it out by myself. So I'm gonna see if I can try to explain this as best as possible. So what we are doing, so as you guys saw, this didn't fit up there, right? Because the actual stud or shaft, whatever you want to call it, it was hitting the top. So what we are doing is we're basically doing the work that this is going to do by doing it with our jack. And the reason why we're doing it this way is because we're not taking the strut completely off of the car. Obviously if you're doing coils, you wouldn't have to do this, or even if you're doing springs and you wanted to take this all the way off the car, you wouldn't really have to worry about this. So what we have to do is we're going to jack this up. Again, we're imitating what this is going to do. So we're compressing the spring, right? We're going to jack it up. It's compressing. So it's compressed, right? We are gonna take this, we're gonna put it on there, and then once we lower the jack, it's gonna sit on this so that the actual spring itself is still gonna be compressed, but how are we gonna say, I guess the car or this part right here is gonna go down so that we're able to take it off, and then the spring is still gonna be compressed. I don't know if that made sense, but maybe if you see us do it, then it'll start making sense. We'll put it over because keep in mind we have to put another one on the other side. So we'll make sure it's tight. We're gonna put this in there so that it doesn't move. That's the whole point of this guy, these pins. And that's it. Like I said, we just needed to hold it in its place so that when we lower the jack, it doesn't extend or decompress, I guess we can say. Gonna put it on there like that. Make sure that pin's in so it's not blocking anything. This still needs to go up a little bit. And that's it. So you guys see, now that we lower the car, all it is it's just holding it. It's compressing it. That way when we go ahead and take it off, it doesn't like spring out. So now that we did it, we're gonna put some more pressure on it. Just a little bit. And then we have to go up top. And we gotta do the work up top now. Oh, please tell me I didn't lose that. Oh, it's right there. I'm not even gonna try it. I'm just gonna get a needle nose plier because I am gonna freaking drop that. I got it. I got it. By the way, it's just this little pull thing. So when it's on like that, all you have to do is just pull the center up, and that's it. So we're gonna just take off the middle bolt, I guess you'd call it, because to take the strut off, there's 2 bolts on the top and 2 on the bottom. However, which way you're looking at it. If we take this bolt off right here, it's basically gonna keep the top hat bolted up, and then it's gonna just release the strut. So if that makes any sense. All right, we got the nut. Okay, this is where the dangerous game comes in. So we're gonna go ahead and release the pressure. Oh, that was way too fast. Holy cow. We're gonna go slow. We're gonna go slow. All right, is it down? All right, we're good. We're good, baby. All right. Oh, 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 oh. All right, just like that. And I am not only gonna put a towel right here, but I'm gonna use this because I'm not trying to lose the eye today. Guys, take it from me. Take it from someone who's almost lost an eye twice, and I'm not kidding. Like literally almost lost an eye twice. Wear eye protection. I'm gonna pull this off. I guess we take this off, and then we take the spring off, baby. That's it. All right, let me put this down. This is like a bomb, bro. Okay, now here's the part where we can actually die. No, I'm just kidding. Just gotta do it safe and slow. All right, that's it. I don't think people realize how dangerous this can actually be. Like, if I've seen a video where somebody didn't use the actual tool that you're supposed to use, they took it off and it freaking, yeah, bro. Like, I don't think people understand how dangerous this can actually be if you don't do it correctly. All right, and let's go ahead and put this on. Gonna put the aftermarket spring in. Make sure that it's flush down here. So the edge of the spring is not supposed to sit right here. I guess it's supposed to sit right here, which is weird. You would think that'd be the other one, but I guess not. Press down on the jack. Just like that. Perfect. You're gonna line it up, but it's not gonna be lined up right here on top because it's supposed to sit flush. So all I did was pull it and it popped. And now that it's sitting exactly the way it's supposed to, top and bottom, so we're good. So now all we have to do is go up top, and we got to put our nut back on the top. That's it. Honestly, that was super easy. No way, no way, no way. We got to put a Allen wrench in there and then turn this at the same time. That kind of sucks. Just kidding. I thought to put more pressure down there, so by jacking it up more, allowing it to compress more, and that should fix it. All right, we're good. Yes, sir, because that would have sucked. That means I would have had to take off the top hat, which means I did all that for no reason. I would have had to unbolt two, drop it again just to do it on like right here. That would have sucked. So we are all done with this side. Everything is put back. We have our brake lines put back where they need to be. We have our EDC sensors. Everything's back. The only thing we didn't put back actually is our end link, because as you know, since this side's lowered, that side's not. It's different suspension, so it's going to be all wonky. So we're going to wait to do the other side, and then we're going to come back and put this end link in. But let me go ahead and blow the other side out now that you guys know what needs to be done, and then we'll move to the rear. And we are all done with the passenger side. So to take this side end link off, you have to put the driver's side end link on first. Then you come over here, jack up the hub, and then you're able to take it off. But this side obviously wasn't as time consuming as the other side because we already knew what to do. So it's on, done. We're gonna put the wheels on, and then we're gonna move to the rear. Now, if you've never had to deal with lug studs instead of lug nuts, so if you guys, the difference is lug nuts are the ones that have the studs, and there's just literally a nut you screw onto the stud. These are lug studs. I don't know how well you guys will be able to see that. This is a lug stud. Lug stud. Lug stud. Sucks because there is no stud on the actual hub to balance the wheel on, so you literally have to balance the wheel yourself because there's nothing to balance it on. Oh, see, look at there. Yeah, thank God these wheels are not heavy, bro. These are actually really light. We gotta balance it ourselves, and if it's not lined up like this, then you gotta come over here and readjust it. Yeah, it actually is really terrible. Not gonna lie to you. My first time dealing with it, and it sucks. I can see why people convert to studs on these cars because it's terrible. One jack stand out, and two jack stand out. Moment of truth. Here we go. Yeah, that is pretty low, folks. And the thing is, it still has to settle. That's pretty low. It's gonna go lower than this. Wow. I meant to buy some spacers to put on it while we did this, but I totally forgot. So we still have to order spacers. But yeah, that's low. I'm genuinely scared for her because let's just pray that she doesn't obliterate the front end. So just to show you guys where I jacked it up in the rear. A lot of you guys probably know this, but you jack it up by the diff, but just make sure that you don't get the cooler. So this part is the cooler. Behind it is the actual differential itself. Again, do not jack it up right here. Jack it up in the back. That's the real differential. That's crazy, man. Look what I just found. In the driver's side rear tire, there's a nail. That's terrible. All right, we're down to the last wire. So to do the rear is probably gonna be harder than the front. The reason why is because every rear, like when doing rear suspension on almost every car, it's always the same way. This part's gonna be the hardest part because we have to line it up. It's very annoying, and you'll see why. But first, we gotta take this cover off. There's 4 10 mils. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take it off. Then we're gonna take off the strut. We're gonna disconnect it from the, I guess you call it the bucket. Disconnect the strut, and then we're gonna disconnect the bucket from the actual knuckle. And again, probably gonna be the hardest part. And I guess we'll see. I also misplaced my safety glasses, so hopefully nothing happens to our eyes. I didn't want to waste any more time looking for it because I'm trying to get this done. We're gonna go ahead and use our adjustable wrench to get the right size. If you guys can see, this is a different socket than your normal socket. It's a star socket. So you are gonna need an E20 to take this off. What is this? I guess it's EP20. But you need this to take this part off right here. And again, there's gonna be a nut on the other side, so you gotta make sure that you get a wrench or whatever. Alright, so got that out. Nice and slow. And pull this out. So the rear is pretty self-explanatory. You just pull off the top hat from the old spring, make sure that it sits flush like that on a new one. And then you literally just put it back the same way that you took it out. Again, the only hard part about the rear is just lining these bolts up. But yeah, like I said, pretty self-explanatory. Another thing that you have to make sure that you do is make sure that it sits flush on the bottom also. So we got the bolt back in for the strut. That's the easiest part. Now the hardest part is getting the bolt back in that connects the bucket to the knuckle. That's gonna be the hardest part because it has to line up on both sides, and sometimes one side's lined up, one side's not, and it literally cannot be a centimeter off. It literally has to be perfect for that bolt to go through. Come on. Come on. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. I think I have it. Screw it in. Oh, let's go! Bro, that's literally the hardest part. We're finished. Let's go. We got this side all done. All I have to do is put this wheel back on. We're finished. Just drop the car and let's see what it looks like. All right, so here's a look after we lowered this car. The front looks good. The rear needs some milk. So that is still high, bro. That's literally the stock height. I'm not understanding. It's 2 fingers, like 2.5 fingers. I'm not understanding. I was warned about this. I'm not really too shocked. I'm just gonna let it settle, see what happens. So the size of the sidewalls are 35. So these are two, I can't see where the tires are. These are 275 35 19s. So they're not like 30s, they're not small tires. I know some people run 40s, but again, I'm just gonna let it settle, see what happens. The front looks good.
That's perfect. The rear needs some milk. So I don't know, if it doesn't come down where I need it to be, I'm just gonna change these springs out. I'm not even gonna sit here and play around with them. I don't understand why these springs are so inconsistent. The only reason why I went with these is because I had people reach out to me like, hey, I see that you're looking at adjustable springs, but you should get H&R springs because they sit perfect, this, that. I'm like, yeah, why would I spend $700 if I could spend like less than $300 and get the same fitment? That's the only reason why I was going for the adjustable springs, is because one, I didn't want coilovers because I wanted to keep the EDC. Two, I thought in order to get my fitment like the way I wanted it, it had to be adjustable springs. Should just went with adjustable springs, dog, because that is terrible. But yeah, I don't know, we'll see. It is what it is. Like I said, if it doesn't come down, which I don't have much hope, if it doesn't come down, we're just going to swap these springs out for another brand. I'm not really sure which ones, but if I can't find like springs, I'm just going to go with my original plan, and I'm just going to go adjustable springs. The front looks good though, man. Like the front is perfect. Like it's not too low, it's not too high, it's literally perfect. And the thing is, it still has to settle. I know for a fact the front is gonna look perfect. The rear, yeah, it needs some help. And on top of that, I have a check chassis code basically, and I think what it is one of the ride heights on the left hand side, the driver's side, got messed up or like out of whack, whatever. So I'm gonna have to jack this car back up. Not tonight because I'm tired, but I'm about to jack this car up one of these upcoming days and just kind of fiddle around with the ride height sensor, and hopefully that code goes away.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it cause you all cap.